Now our attention is outside. The reason is our brain has become like a prism. And the rays that come into us of awareness also are thrown out. And as a reaction, our attention goes outside. If I tell you take your attention inside, you cannot take it. Just cannot. Something has to happen inside. And that's why when this Kundalini rises within you, then your attention is attracted inside and this happening takes place. And then you find that you can enter inside as well as outside. But otherwise you cannot. Many people say that we are praying. Now you are praying outside. There's no connection. First the connection must be established. So when your attention is outside, you react to everything. For example, I come and see these flowers, then I react to it, and then I see something, or another thing I see. All the time I'm reacting outside. As a result of all the kind of sensations we get out of our reactions, our attention becomes absolutely disturbed. And we get into a lot of troubles. First of all, our eyes are not steady. They go on hovering from here to there, or God knows what we are looking for. The eyes become impure because we start thinking about things. As soon as we see something, we start thinking, and a barrier is created. For example, there's a beautiful piece, something very beautiful you see. And looking at it, if there's a thought, you cannot enjoy. But if there is no thought, there's pure rapport, pure connection between that beautiful art and yourself, then you just see it and enjoy that joy of the artist which he has poured into it without thinking about it. Otherwise, normally people will think, oh, how many pounds can I save? Or what should I do? Should I purchase it or not? All sorts of nonsensical, flippant, cheap ideas can come into your head. Or could be something higher also, this color is not matched with that and this. But a person who is a realized soul will just see. Just like children, they just do in the same way, without thinking. So the first thing that happens to your attention, that the thoughts subside. Thought is the first problem that has started with ego. And now when the thoughts subside, then you become peaceful. People talk of peace. You should have peace. How can you have peace? It's not possible. It's an impossible situation. You see, we think by thinking, by organizing, by manipulating, we'll have peace. You cannot. You cannot have peace that way. How will you have peace? When the peace is established on your attention. When your attention is peaceful. When you are absolutely without any thoughts, then the peace resides. After all, the peace is disturbed by the human beings only, isn't it? It is not disturbed by something else. It is disturbed by human beings. And now, if the human beings are not peaceful, how can you have peace by talks? On the contrary, when there are talks, be sure that there will be some violent action after that. Always it happens. Because thought is incapable of keeping your attention in balance. Now, how do you remove the thought from your mind is the problem. Thoughts are all the time in your mind. If you get possessed, you may not have thoughts. But otherwise, which is the other way? The other way is the Kundalini. When it rises, a thought rises and falls off, another thought rises and falls off. But when the Kundalini rises, then what happens? These thoughts become elongated and start subverting inside. And there is a gap in between. And this gap is the place of our peace. If you achieve that peace, the world peace can be achieved. By just taking placards, by shouting for peace, you cannot establish peace. Peace has to come from the hearts of humans. In the hearts of human beings, peace can be only established when you establish the spirit within you. Its core, where it manifests the bliss of peace. When you start enjoying the bliss of peace, you don't want, you don't think of wars. And that is the state where now the human beings have to rise and go to that. So these horrible times which we call as Kali Yuga, the modern times, which are the times of complete illusion, and when all the value system is changed, where everybody seems to be unhappy and sick, is the time also preceding the Krita Yuga, the time where everything will be done, perfected and established. That's the meaning of Krita Yuga. So to begin with, primitive times, which were called Krita Yuga, are established again. The primitive is again established, but here with awareness. Like as I told you, the matter becomes aware of itself. The Kundalini, which is a potential thing, which is a potential power of desire within us, which is we can solve the primitive, manifests itself and becomes aware of itself. That is what is Sahaja Yoga today. It's all Sahaja, it's all spontaneous. All life process has been spontaneous, but today that is what it is. So spontaneously your attention becomes peaceful, absolutely peaceful. And when that peace is achieved, that peace is established within your heart through the ascent, then every bit of that peace emits peace. Such a person, wherever he is, he emits peace. Wherever he is. If there's a quarrel going on, there will be peace. Even we have seen, if there's one person who is a realized soul in a train, and if there's an accident, everybody is saved. Even one person. There are many examples where in a bus there was one lady who was a realized soul, and the bus fell down with 3 somersaults, and it fell on its 4 legs, and everybody was safe, and this thing started. And they tried to find out who was the realized soul. Because in India we understand this. We are more grown up in spiritual sensitivity than in material sensitivity. You are very sensitive to material things. We should also learn something from you, I should say. But you should also learn something from us. And that is the spiritual sensitivity. To understand what serenity is and what superficiality is. So with this attention being absolutely stationed on a balance, you start seeing the superficiality. You start discarding the superficiality. You immediately see that this is superficial, there's nothing in it. And then the attention only accepts whatever is deep, whatever is divine. The rest of it is rejected. It doesn't accept. It doesn't react. It doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't accept. It has nothing to do with it. It is just separate. The attention keeps a distance from all superficial things. It has no enjoyment. I have been many Sahaja Yogis who are here today, who used to indulge in all kinds of things, which I was amazed how they go, because they were men of God. But the situation is such, the atmosphere is such, that they were. They have given up their parents, they had given up everything and had become daily like vagabonds. But when they got their realization, settled down. Everything settled down. And now they don't go to those places now. They just don't like it. They don't want to see it on the TV. There's on the TV, they put it on. Because the attention has now the sense I would say, of purity. The sense of morality, which we know of is hypocrisy outside. We are hypocritical. But this is inner morality which just keeps you moral. Inner quality, like Christ now. He would not do something filthy, will he? Why? Why did he do it? Like any other person? Why was he not attracted to something that was not good? Because his attention was pure. It would not accept anything that was not pure. Like that, your attention becomes absolutely pure. Your eyes become innocent. Your eyes do not have dirty ideas, lust and ideas, but they have purity in them. And wherever you put your eyes, that becomes pure. Wherever you look, that becomes pure. You spread purity through your eyes, not lust and greed. And this is something must happen today, because the time has come, our eyes are tired, now tired, of looking at all horrible things. Let us now have those eyes who discard. Then why will they have dirty things? It's only we have created this spirit. Once we discard it, it will all disappear. It's our own creation. Whom can we blame? Not the birds have done it, not the tigers have done it, or the trees have done it. It's we, the human beings. We have done all this nonsense. If we get purified, everything will be purified. Now the attention becomes collectively conscious. Becomes. So far your attention is not. Your attention is, you can see a person, how his hair is, or what dress he's wearing, and all these things. But you cannot penetrate into that person to feel what sort of trouble that person has, what centers he's touching, whether he is a good man or a bad man from the divine point of view. Because your attention has achieved that state of collective consciousness, you can understand. At the very sight of the person, you can say what sort of a person is. I mean, I had many experiences like that. I told once my husband that this man has come to loot our country. And he was shocked. He said, how do you pass it in the market, just looking at his face? I said, he has come here to loot our country. And he did it. He did it. Within 3 years' time, they found out he looted us out. Like that, we can have many people who are really at the top of organizations, governments, these that are really cheats, are going to one day ruin the whole country or destroy us completely. You can see it from the face. But that penetration only can come when you have those pure eyes. When you are yourself pure, how can you see? When your glass is mirror, suppose if there's your eyes are covered with some color, then how can you see? To see something clearly, your eyes must be clear and clear. And that's what happens to us. But there's nothing wrong. Once Kundalini rises, she kindles a light. You can see a twinkle in the eyes of a person who is really nice with the eyes are twinkling. And there's a kind of light you can see in the eyes of such a person. And then you know that such a person is realized. It's very simple to make out even the eyes of a bad man and a good person. When you develop your own inner sensitivity, and this comes through the attention being absolutely at balance. No thoughts rising. You look at a person without any barrier. For example, you see, say I see an Indian. Then immediately I think, oh, from what country, what part of the country, then who is he, this, that. Suppose. So that she's lost that. It's nothing important. What is important is what sort of a person he is. He may be your own brother, maybe a nasty fellow tomorrow, he may murder you. So it does not matter. Whatever you have understood through your brain is nothing. What is important if you have seen through and you, what sort of a person? So the attention has to be purified, but that you don't have to do. Your Kundalini itself purifies your attention. You become collectively conscious. So many things happen to your attention. Sitting down here, you can tell about people, what's happening. Now the Krita Yuga means it happens, it is manifested. So now the attention manifests itself. It's another very remarkable thing that happens. Like, I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking of someone. Alright, I'm thinking of someone. If I want, I can think. If I don't want, I need not think. That is the situation. But after realization, somebody needs your help. You just think of that person. And if you think of that person is helped. Even if the person doesn't know and is thinking of God, you may help that person, just thinking of it. It happens. It has happened. You must have seen one of the things happen in Bedford. It's very surprising for people, but it's a fact. The fact is like this, that some people were going, one boy was going on a motorcycle and he fell down from a bridge and they called for the ambulance. But after some time the boy himself got up and killed. And they were surprised because they expected him to be dead. They were surprised, how did he walk up? So they asked him, he said, no, there was, I'll tell you, in the hospital. They took him to the hospital and there was also police people and he told them that I fell down all right, but a lady came in a white car, I have a white car, and she came down and she healed me. She said, which lady? He said, Indian lady. She was wearing a white sari. They couldn't believe this, it must be a hallucination. Next day he saw my photograph. Because I was speaking in Bedford, that time when he fell down. like this. We had a bigger hall than this. And I was speaking there when this had happened. So they were quite surprised. And he said that a little point down below is left there. She said, you come to me and I'll give it. So they asked Naveen Brown about it, and he said, yes, this has happened in India many times, and it's surprising it has happened here also. But it's nothing great, it's nothing special. Because if you can receive on the television something from the ether, you can always receive at that level also. And you can manifest it. But in the television what we receive is, it doesn't manifest. Supposing we see some photograph of someone. It doesn't get up and cure us, does it? It does not. But here, attention when you put to it, the attention manifests. See, wow, fantastic. It is very hard to believe, but it happens. It happens. That the attention itself manifests. So, this attention that becomes enlightened, becomes one with the divine, it manifests. And it acts, and it helps. It is very miraculous, but now those who are surgeons here know 1,001 stories about it. It has happened like that. It can happen to you, it can happen to anyone. Like once I remember a girl, she went to a place which was a little lonely and some people attacked. And some surgeons were going by bus. So they suddenly got down at a place and just walked. They didn't know why they walked there. And they found that so many people were attacking this girl, and they just saved the girl from them. And they were from a different place, and she said, how are you all here? Oh, we don't know. We just felt we should walk this side, so we came out. We felt the vibrations, we just came, walked here, and we saw you in this condition. It can happen that way. So you become one unit, like the part and parcel of the body. So you become, the attention makes you a part and parcel of the whole body, but also the awareness of it. Like this finger is the part and parcel of the whole body. But is not aware. Is not aware that it is a part and parcel of the whole body. It acts. But there it is aware, and it acts without even having any connection outside, like ductless glands. It acts, and it manifests, and it works out the way it has to work. It's such a fantastic thing, is the attention that becomes. Then the last and the most important thing is that you become the joy. Nowadays, we have lost the sense of joy. With the smallest thing we get irritated and angry. You see the small children running, a lady comes down. You should not run here. I'm disturbed. How many children when they run, and the sound they make so sweet, so beautiful, so joy-giving. But she can't bear it because she's so tense. She's just waiting to hear. She comes down, there's one child. She shouts at the child. The child cannot even speak. Why are you shouting at the child? He makes noise. He can't talk. Oh, then she goes back. All the time you are just waiting to find faults with others, waiting to complain, waiting to see what others are doing wrong. Not enjoying them at all. Once I was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi in a train, and we had ladies compartment, and we were 4 ladies, but there was only one lady with me and myself, and in the other compartment there were 2 young boys. And they had met after a long time. I think they were in college together. And they were hitting each other and, talking with each other in such a friendly manner. I was just enjoying it. And this lady was so angry. She said, these stupid fools don't allow me to sleep. I said, we sleep every time. We enjoy the way they are having. She said, what? You are enjoying that? I said, really enjoying. I'm feeling my youngest. Hitting each other and see, you come around now, what you did this way. It's so interesting, such innocent talk we were having. And this lady got so infuriated. She said, no, I'm going to hit them hard. At the most, she knocked. 10 times she knocked. I said, why don't you let's be amateur? So she said, no, I just can't manage. I can't. See, then she went out. Her attention, would not allow her to sleep. She went out, shouted at him, "What do you mean by doing like this? And what do you mean by talking like this?" Poor thing, like this. I felt so sad. When she came away, I went and told her, "Doesn't matter, you know. She's still, her ears are very, very sharp, you see. So when you talk in muffled voice, she won't know. But even that she could hear. She could not spare them. The whole night, you see, she didn't sleep just hearing it. Don't you think they're talking? Now let us talk. That's how our attention is. Horrible. It can never enjoy anyone. What the birds speak, how the children run, and how the people talk. You see, it's so enjoyable. Everything is such an enjoyment, which we have lost that sensitivity completely. We cannot enjoy each other. But then we enjoy. We just enjoy a person who is a realizer. Just enjoy. Just sitting with such a person. Nobody stops. Many times we always travel together. There's a pin drop silence, nobody talking. And the ticket collector said, "Why, are you meditating or what?" Nobody's talking, just sitting, enjoying. He can't understand what's the matter with this thing. They're not talking. Nobody talking, just enjoying each other, just sitting, enjoying the company. Then nobody bothers about the comfort. You know, sometimes we have our programs where we have 1,000 people or something. And it's also sometimes we go to India, it's a horrible Spartan living, absolutely Spartan to the last, we can say. And they don't mind at all. They don't mind anything. I said, "Baba, you want to go to villages, but we prepared this horrible place." "Oh, no, mother, we enjoy." They said, "Our Kundalini rises just like home it goes in. And we just enjoy that. We don't want anything else. And it is so difficult for them to send back to their own countries, but actually push them with a pistol. Now go back. And they enjoy all the discomfort in that country. I was surprised. Absolutely most uncomfortable places there. But we had 4 Americans once. 3 of them ran away. They couldn't bear it. We had to force them. We said, "No, we have to stick them with something that they stick on them." But they could not. This no, this is too much for us. How can we live like that? I said, "What comforts you have here in the country? See, all plastics. We eat in plastic. Everything plastic. Even for towels, you have plastic. At least in India, you have everything cotton. You have a plate of, say, a beautiful plate of brass to eat food. What do you have in your country that you are talking of your comfort?" I said, "We have at least motor cars. All right, we have got bullock carts. Doesn't matter." But it is too much for them to go by a bullock cart because you see, their body is all shaken up, their attention all outside. So this is what happens. Your attention becomes balanced. Attention becomes collectively conscious. You start enjoying others. And this so-called comfort for which we really fight is zero. Like here I see, if you go to Yorkshire, you find people have gone to Brighton. Why? For a holiday. And the people from Brighton have come to Yorkshire. I said, "But what? I can't understand. They can't sit in the house, you see. There's nothing like grahastha, means the one who stays in the house. There's nothing like a household. They're always out of the house. As soon as they get a holiday, they must pack up, walk. Some people are just cruising. Fine, why are you cruising? You must sit at home. Home is the place of bliss. Sit down, talk together, have some rapport, be nice to each other. That's not there. You will have a television in between you. Otherwise, if there's no television, there's a fight. Nobody can stand the company of another person even for 5 minutes. Either you have television, or you have newspaper, or something in between. There's nothing like enjoying the company of other person. Why? Because our attention is so shaky. Just gets disturbed for nothing at all. I mean, how can you live in a place, in any place without any sound? You want to have soundless area, then why God has given you ears? He has given you the ears to enjoy the music of His rhythm. And that you can only feel when you become a realized soul. Before that, you are very uncomfortable. You have all kinds of wrinkles all over. And you ask them, why have you wrinkles? Oh God, you know, I have neighbors who are young boys. They are all the time singing loudly. I will grow old in no time. I said, I would go and join them if it because what is there to feel so bad about it? What is there to feel that cannot bear it. Why should you be so tired about it? Because our attention makes us tired. All the time our attention is. And the worst is our attention is on the watch. Watching the time. For what? For what are you watching the time? There is no more going to be a war of Waterloo or anything. You don't have to worry on that. You see, when the bomb will come, it will come without knowing. So why watch the time? After all, that's the only thing that is important, isn't it? Otherwise, what is important is enjoy the time, this moment. Every moment has a dynamism in it. But you are thinking now to go, now mother is speaking whether I'll get my train or not, I should go to that time. As soon as the time is over. But I tell you, for a surgery, the trains will stop, the aeroplanes will stop. Everything stops. Because after all, it's all God's will you are entering. Who is greater than God? Who is more powerful than Him? Once you enter into His kingdom, everything works out. You know, it works out. Mother, we don't know how it worked out. It works out. They talk in third person, it works out. So the joy of those happenings, the joy of that blissfulness, that security of God fills you up. And when it fills you up, you feel absolutely relaxed. You feel it's all done. So attention should be at the nice things, as we say, but it is never. How do we do it? We do it by enjoying the nice things, by understanding the nice things. Just our attention goes there, and whatever else may be there, we just don't see. We just don't see. We went once to a place called Nepal. You must have heard about Nepal and Kathmandu. And my daughters were there with me. And normally Indian people are a little bit sort of, you see, daughters, they wouldn't carry them to places if there are erotics and all that. Actually, we had never seen erotics in our lives, you see, because our attention is not there. So we saw the whole of Nepal, we never saw any erotics, you see. Second time I went, my disciple was there, and he was writing a book, and he said, Mother, do you know that Nepal has the maximum number of erotics? I said, no, we never saw. We are moving about with our daughters, we had never seen any erotics anywhere. Oh, it's full with it. I said, where? On top of every temple. I said, why do you see the top of the temple? Why don't you see inside the temple? He said, no, on top of the temple, you'll find lots of these erotics. I said, where? You know, to my amazement, when we went there, the Japanese had put up long these wires and what you call them, those big, you use machine-like ladders, you see machine-like ladders, special ladders there. And with the zoom lenses, they were taking photographs of these erotics. I said, Papa, what's the matter with these? He said, what is there to see in that? And they were taking photographs of these. I said, from this distance, I can't see. I mean, any Indian who goes there, goes to a temple, his attention is on the deity. And he's not bothered, we never saw these things. What is there outside? And these Japanese are with the zoom lens, one falling down and holding on to the wire, another standing on his head, trying to arrange the camera. To get what? That filth, dirt. I was amazed. Because our attention is used to filth. You see, if you know people who are, we call them sweepers in India, they have to clean the, which is not a very good thing, but they do a dirt cleaning thing or a garbage cleaning. And they have no nose to feel the dirt. You see, they become like animals. They can pass through any dirt or filth. Same thing has happened to us. We have no sense left of sin. What's wrong? So what? That's what. We have lost the sensitivity to sin. But after realization, you just become sensitive. And you abhor it, just leave it. So the discrimination takes place. You can never enjoy a sinful act. And the enjoyment of righteousness and virtue starts flowering into you, you become a flowering personality. You really enjoy yourself. You never say, I hate myself. Or you never use this word, I hate you. Next moment, I love you. That sort of nonsense goes away from your tongue. You become a beautiful person who is never bored. Who is never bored. You enjoy your own company so much. Even if you are engaged, you are enjoying yourself. You are outside, you are enjoying yourself. Because you are there, you are not lost. So this is how our attention becomes enlightened and you become the joy. And this joy fills you up completely. You become a personality of magnetism, complete magnetism. I was surprised that the best perfume that they produce in Paris is called as joy. The most expensive is joy. I think they have found out that joy has that magnetism in it. And it is from pure flowers. Actually, these flowers we find in India. I don't know where you find them here or not, from where the joy is made. But whatever it is, what I find that the people are hitting the point all right in every way, that this is joy, the perfume. Joy means, joy is the perfume in a human being. If you have that joy within you, you may not take bath for 10 days, you will have never a problem of any smelling or anything. Because you are perfume, you become perfume. Anywhere, even some people think of it, they get the perfume. All kinds of perfumes. It happens like that. Because in the attention, the Mother Earth, which was the element, the matter, becomes the perfume. The causal of the Mother Earth is perfume, it becomes the perfume. The magnetism of the Mother Earth becomes the magnetism in your personality. Whatever you have got it from 5 elements goes back into its primitive stage, in the sense it becomes its causal, like it becomes the glow. The tejas is the causal of light. The causal of light is tejas, is the glow. Your face glows. Your skin glows. There's a glow on your face. Sometimes you find glow around thing. But to see glow is not good. That I'll tell you sometimes later. But you do see. A person like this has glow on his face. So you become your primitive, or you can say your causal, of which you are made, all the 5 elements express in its causal. But now the causal is aware. That's the only difference there is. So you become the joy, source of joy, and the giver of joy. And you yourself enjoy yourself, because yourself is so glorious, so great, and so joyous. May God bless you.